Oh, hi there, it's Ruby. Welcome back to my channel. Today I feel like telling you this story about the craziest adventure that has ever happened to me, and it started happening 6 years ago. So I hope you have some popcorn because this is gonna be a long one.
Okay, I'm stressed. Is this filming? And today I'm doing something special, and that will be the fact that I'm vlogging.
I am feeling good today. You know what? Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so it all started happening in 2017. I was in senior year in high school. It has always been a dream of mine to study abroad. I have two aunts who live here, and I had the chance to live with one of them for 2 years. That's when I realized I might have the opportunity to study in Montreal. So yeah, I started applying to universities and to immigration documents and everything. Then I got my admission letter. After that, I got my visa. And after that, I was on my way to Montreal.
Okay, so I don't know if I talked about it yesterday, but I said that I was going to the Canadian embassy, and I did come today. It's currently 7 a.m. and I still am very stressed for this whole visa thingy. So let's hope things go well. And by the way, today is Monday the 30th of July. It's 7:13 a.m.
I had never traveled before, so you can only imagine how excited I was for this new adventure. I got my visa for Canada on August 18th. August 20, I was on a plane, and August 22nd, I got here. I got a one-way ticket to Canada. It was one of the busiest time of the year for travels in Lebanon at the time. The only ticket the travel agency found for me was a 24-hour flight. It was a 12-hour layover in Qatar, Doha. So yeah, it was from the beginning, it was a long journey, literally.
Okay guys, so you see this is the comfort zone, and this is a new adventure. So let's leave the comfort zone and head to Canada. I'm coming.
So yeah, ever since I got to Canada, my life has been filled with firsts. First time I get into a plane, first time I take the metro. I had never taken the metro before. And then I moved out in April 2020, and that was a whole new level of first. I got my first Amazon package. Okay, guys, so in Ruby's Adulting Diary 101, I get my first Amazon package. Yes, I got my towels. Oh my god, I have never been more excited. It's a set of 6 towels, 2 huge towels, 2 smaller ones, hand towels, and 2 like tiny towels. I cut my hair for the first time alone. Okay, well, this needs to be cut it. Hold on, stay there. Stay there. We have a mirror. Okay, anything else too long? This. Okay, so I just cut my hair, and I think I cut them a bit too short. But we're good. I think we're good. You know, that's maybe not because of Canada, that's more a COVID thing, but I had done it. I started painting for the first time in my life. I was never an artsy kind of girl, even, and I know that might sound a bit controversial considering I studied architecture, but most of our drawings are usually done on computers. But since when it was a pandemic, I got into painting and I really loved it. I had also just moved out during that time, so I wanted to decorate my bedroom on a budget. So this is my room. Yesterday it was very tidy, but then I decided to start painting. So now we've got paint all over the floor. We've got a painting on my window. I started to do this painting. I want to finish it today. The other day, meaning 1 week ago, I painted this, which is kind of my first painting on a canvas ever, and a bit my favorite. I love it so much. So yeah, in my bed it's not made, and I have like painting gear everywhere, and I have like erasing rubs on the floor, and
Yeah, it's one hell of a big mess, but I love it.
So yeah, oh, first time I put furniture together, I built every single piece of furniture in my apartment, big or small, and I hold so much pride into it.
Guys, I should have put this inside the tubes while building it, and I forgot, so now I have to take it all off.
What else? First time I go to the dentist alone. That was an adventure.
It's the first time that I ever go to the dentist alone, and honestly, I'm terrified.
Lots and lots of firsts in this country, and with each new experience I've developed, it felt like my specter of personality was getting wider and wider. I was just growing more and more ever since I got here, and I love it so much. Okay, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. I want to go back to my first year of university and talk about it a little bit before. Now, this is a small behind the scene behind this whole YouTube video. I actually tried filming it, uploading it last year, but I don't know, it just didn't feel like the right timing. I didn't feel ready to upload it, but I still had a whole like complete YouTube video ready to go. So I'm gonna export a small part of last year's video in which I talk about my first year of university here in Montreal. So it's 2023 Ruby talking about what it was like for 2018/2019 Ruby and her first year of university. I know the whole timelines are getting a bit confusing. This has turned into a whole Avengers movie, but I'm really trying hard to have the best narration possible out there. So yeah, I'm gonna let last year's self tell you how it was 6 years ago. Anybody who studies abroad knows that the first year is probably the most confusing because I don't know how to say it. I did feel homesick and I did feel out of place a lot of times during my first year, but at the same time I remember being so thrilled and so amazed by everything that I just didn't have that much time to feel homesickness. Also, I came here and I studied architecture, and studying architecture is time consuming. We are very famous for pulling all-nighters and just not sleeping and not having time to scratch our heads. I pulled an all-nighter last night to finish the homework I have to present today. So since when I pulled an all-nighter and I finished it at 7 a.m. and I have class at 1:30 a.m. and I need to leave home in a bit, I was like, you know what? Instead of like going back to sleep and not being sure whether I'm going to wake up or not, let's like do things I still haven't done. And I told myself I'm gonna do like, self-care things. So I put on some makeup, did some self-care, put on a face mask, hydrated myself, tidied my room because this has not been done in a while, and now I'm leaving school soon. But yeah, the first year went by really fast, and the second year went by even faster, and then COVID happened. Now, here's the thing, ever since I got here, one of the main reasons why I wanted to study in Canada is because I knew that this is a very pedagogical, student-oriented country, and I really wanted to work while going to university. Like, I wanted to be able to have that kind of independence. So I remember wanting to apply to jobs everywhere, and that's what I did the first year, but I couldn't get a job the first year. I had to wait till the summer, which is also a good thing because I do not imagine that I would have been able to work at the same time as studying for the first year of architecture. There was so much happening and I was still getting used to everything around me. I think I would have been overwhelmed if I tried getting a job. But the second year, I was able to have a summer job during my first summer here in Montreal, which meant I only visited Lebanon for a month because I wanted to come back and work as much as possible before the school year. But then during the school year, I got a second job as an administrative agent at a hospital. Okay, guys, I have an update for you. So it is currently 11:16 p.m. My shift should have ended at 11:30, but since when I had a double shift today, I've been told that I can leave at 11 by my co-workers. So it's 11:16, I just left work, but guess what? I'm going to university again because, just because.
So I'm on my way to university. I'm on my way to the metro station. I'm gonna go to university, stay there for an hour and a half maybe, you know, till I can catch the last metro and the last bus. And then I'm gonna go home. And tomorrow I don't have work, like technical work, but I still have to not go to school. I'm going to school in the evening, but I still have to work on the drawings we have to present on Tuesday. So yeah, I just thought I would update you. I don't know how to feel about that. I've been up since 5:30, not even tired. I had a coffee and a half and I'm good. Usually I have like a coffee a day and I'm still tired and I want to sleep. Not the case today. So that's that. Am I crazy? Yes. Am I enjoying it? Yes. That's why everyone should study something they love and work something they also love, because then you will never feel tired. Cheers.
This job will always hold a special place in my heart, especially that after my first 8 months working there, the COVID pandemic happens. I felt like I was being useful during that time of the year, and with everything happening in Lebanon, it was a distraction that helped me overcome the challenges that were thrown in my face because of Lebanon. For context, 2020 has been a very tough year in Lebanon. It's the year where the inflation started getting bad, and there was an explosion on the 4th of August, which I'm not even going to talk about because I wasn't in Lebanon, and even though it did have a huge impact on me mentally and it really drained my energy for a very long time, I don't think I can compare what I went through to what people in Lebanon who experienced it firsthand went through. So I'm gonna try avoid talking about that. But in general, since 2020, Lebanon has not been doing well and still not doing well today, but it's just that people are learning to adapt more to the crisis now. But yeah, having a job during that time was really helpful, especially that the banks at that time stopped all international transfers. So basically, Lebanese people could not get their money out of the country.
Okay, so today was an exploring day. So I went to the bank today and I wanted to ask them about the Lebanese currencies. This hat is making me look ridiculous. Okay, so I went to my bank and I asked them if I want to, exchange from Lebanese pound to US, what is the exchange rate? And the lady over there just looked in her system and she told me the Lebanese pound does not exist in our system, so we do not deal with Lebanese pound. It has been blocked.
And having a job and being able to, take matters into my own hand was so empowering and so helpful. So there's that. Yeah, and after my second year of university, I applied to even more scholarships. I mean, I was applying to a few competitions and scholarships before then, but during the second year after the pandemic and after working so hard and realizing that no matter how hard I work, I won't be able to completely finish all of my tuition on my own, I started applying to as many scholarships as I could. And I got a few of them and they helped me tremendously. My university gave me a scholarship of perseverance, and then the Ministry of Education of Quebec helped me with a scholarship, which was very ironic considering that my own country was not allowing my parents to send me their own money to pay for my tuition. And here I was in a country where I had only been a resident for 2 or 3 years at the time, and that country was helping me out more than my own country. That made me question a lot of things. I'm not going to get all political in this video, but it felt good to see that even though I was an immigrant and even though I was new in this country, the country was still pushing me forward. That's something I'll always appreciate Quebec and Canada for. After 3 years of university, I was able to graduate from my bachelor's in architecture, and I was hoping to be able to visit Lebanon that summer after my second year because I was not able to go back. I visited after my first year of university. After the second year, since there was the pandemic, I stayed in Montreal, and after the third year I was hoping to visit, but then I had to apply for my work permit, and I was on an implied status, which means if I leave the country before getting my actual work permit, I would not be able to come back until I get my work permit. But if I wait in Montreal, I would be able to keep working. It's according to Article 186, Section V, I think, or U of the Immigration Act. Oh, I'm telling you, after having applied to so many work permits, visas, student permits, I became very familiar with the Immigration Act, and I feel like this at some point I had to quote it to justify being able to work for my employer, and I felt like I was in Suits. That was like during a period when I was binge watching Suits, and I felt like a lawyer. It's a bit complicated when you explain it to people who don't have to deal with visas. For anybody applying for papers, I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm talking about. There's just so many rules and you have to be aware of everything. But that's also what I loved about this whole experience, is the knowledge it gave me towards things that I never thought I would be able to master that well.
So you know you're adulting when you have to do paper. Okay, why do I look like that? Oh my god. Okay, you know you're adulting when you have to do paperwork while studying for your exam. Like during the time you should also be studying for your exam. I have started to have this fear of paperwork because ever since I've started to present papers for my visa to come here and study in Canada, I've always had a lot of paperwork to do, and this is just getting tiring at that point.
But yeah, so I couldn't go back to Lebanon during my third summer here, and then I had to wait, and then I got my work permit, but I had gotten a new job, so I had to negotiate to be able to get vacations, and I was able to go back home after 3 years of not visiting. And yes, there were a lot of sacrifices, and yes, I missed my sister's wedding, and there was a lot of things happening at that time, but again, it seems worth it at the end. I guess I'm just, because I'm filming this video and because I've had the chance to look back at these past 5 years in retrospect, it's just, I don't know, it made me understand more why I've made every single decision I have taken before. So yeah, after graduating and getting my work permit, I applied to a new job. I got a job in my field. I've been working in that job for the past year and a half. And ever since, I've been back to taking acting classes and trying to get back to my hobbies, do the things I love. So why am I filming this video? I guess I'm filming this video, first of all, as a thank you. Of course, first of all, as a thank you to my parents, who without them, I wouldn't have been able to make it that far. And I wouldn't have been able to have the motivation to go that far. It's crazy because even though they've been living on the other side of the planet for the past 5 years, I've always felt as if they were nearby. They were always one phone call away from giving me advice or helping me out, and that was truly priceless. But also as a thank you to my aunt and my uncle, and both of my aunts and my uncles and my cousins. I don't want to talk much about them because I do want to respect everybody's privacy, but I can maybe tell you just one anecdote, and that would represent my whole relationship with them. So I lived with one of my aunts and uncles for the first 2 years. The first year I got invited to a party, and it was a Gatsby themed party. Now, I didn't know much about Gatsby before. I hadn't watched the movie before then, and I was just gonna wear a regular outfit. Then my aunt, she got so excited. She told me, no, Ruby, you cannot go just wearing a regular outfit. So she went down to the basement. She got the Halloween costumes she had, and she got all of the feathers out. And she also found a paintbrush, and she was like, oh, Ruby, you can use it as a cigarette. And she just upgraded my costume in a whole different way. And yeah, she was always encouraging me to go out. My cousin's friends were my friends for the first couple of years because I had just gotten here and I didn't know that many people at the time. So to me, I always saw them as my cousins and my aunts and uncles. I always saw them as my fairy godparents in Montreal. They've always been by my side. Even after I moved out, they still were there, especially when I needed them the most. And that is priceless to me. And they've always been giving me advice and also leading by example, which is incredible. So that's the first reason why I'm filming this. The second reason why I'm filming this is because I wanted to share this experience with my friends and everybody else going through the same thing. I think the beginning of our 20s are supposed to be challenging and they're supposed to be hard. But if you look at it as if it's an adventure, it just makes it so much more fun. And that's what I tried to do. And I filmed almost every challenge I've had, from going into a plane to the first time, to dancing after my last exam and crying when I got my scholarships. I tried filming every single scene, and the videos are way longer than you guys are seeing them. I didn't film them to share them. I just filmed them for my own self, because my 3 years of bachelor's degree were really hard. But the thing is that after I got my job and after I got my work permit and after I went back home, I almost forgot how hard it was. And I only realized all of the challenges I went through after rewatching these videos. I was rewatching them the other day and I was like, oh yeah, that was not fun. That was tough. But it's just when you're going through them, when you're going through things, well, you're so overwhelmed by everything else that even if you're having trouble, you just don't realize that. And when you're done, when you actually get to the end of the tunnel, you kind of forget everything you've went through. So if you are currently going through something hard, I just want to tell you that it does get better, and I'm pretty sure there's people around who want to help you out. So try to stay on the lookout for these people. I personally would not have been able to make it as far if I didn't have my parents and my family and my friends around by my side when I needed them the most. Sometimes I didn't even know that I needed them, but they were there. So yeah, if there's anything to take away from this video, is enjoy the tough times, because these are the best memories you're gonna have. Take care of the people in your life and try to keep them around. Take videos and pictures of the things you're going through, whether it's good things, bad things. It doesn't matter. It's all gonna make sense at the end, and it's all gonna tie up. And yeah, enjoy the challenges, and try to look at every hardship as an adventure, because it is. That was everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and see you in my next one. Bye.
Elle est retournée en 1970. Ruby, it's your birthday! Yeah! Woo! Oh!
So Lemia, what are you cooking for us?
I don't know the name of it. All I know is that it tastes good.
Okay.
Encore, refais-le.